What's good, YouTube? It's the Base God and Yu-Gi-Oh! Here on Team Black Rainbow's channel, coming at you guys with my new segment called Blast from My Past. It's where I will be going about, past things that I have done in, Yu-Gi-Oh! When I started playing back in, 2010. That's really when I started playing competitively, but I didn't get as good as I am today, like, as of, until recently. But yeah, this deck that you guys see right now is probably one of my favorite decks that I've ever created because I got my first nationals invite using this deck at a San Jose Regionals. I believe it was like May 11th, 2011. But yeah, this was like the format, of GKs and the beginning of plants and all that. And then Six Samurais were really hot. But yeah, this is a time where Pot of Duality was secret. Warnings were only Ultra and Ultimate, and those were the money cards right there. Maxi wasn't even relevant at that point. But yeah, this is the March 2011 ban list, like format, pretty much. But yeah, so I was playtesting like other decks before like the regionals, and it wasn't working out for me so well. So then the night before, I created this deck. So the Friday night, I created this deck, thinking that these King Tiger Wangus are gonna kill the Kageki before the Kagamusha comes out, or it'll kill both. And also it'll work with the Burden of the Mighties, which I thought was like the awesome tech of that I ever created. I didn't even create it, but like awesome tech that I used in threes because that card is good. And also, if you have the King Tiger Wangu out and then a Bird of the Mighty and they have a Tengu, if you attack it, it drops down to 1300. And then, you know, this card kills anything under 1400, so it'll kill all the Tengus that come out. So yeah, onto the deck list. This is what I called Machina Wangu, just because it's Machina and it's King Tiger Wangu. And yeah, I played triple Gear Frame, triple Fortress, and double Force, just because I felt like it could go toe to toe with the Six Sams and all that. So I believe at that time, um, Shien was at 2. I mean, no, Shien was unlimited, so it wasn't until the September 2011 ban list where it was limited. I believe someone could correct me, but yeah. So these could go toe to toe with the Machina Fortresses can go toe to toe with the Shians and pop something else. And yeah, since I didn't have dualities, I needed some other type of draw engine that didn't allow my opponent to, plus 1,000 life. So I ran triple Dekoichi. Also, it's a machine, so you can pitch it with Machina Fortress. So yeah, this is like, flip, draw one. And this is where, like, there's no Inzectors, so then you comfortably set monsters with flip effects because you knew it was going to stay alive and it wasn't going to get popped. I ran triple King Tiger Wangu. Like I said, this is probably the key card of this deck. It'll destroy anything except for like anti-meta and heroes, which I actually lost to that day, and also frogs. But yeah, this card destroys anything under 1400 as long as it's on the field, and its effect only applies up to like after it was summoned. So say they have like a Sangan face up, and then you summon this, it still stays on the field because it has to be after this card summon. And it doesn't include flip summoning either, so that's something you gotta watch out for. I played a double Cyber Dragon and double Thunder King, just because Thunder King stops like searching and everything, and then Cyber Dragon's just a good turn 2 beat stick, so good turn 1 and then a good turn 2, you know, whatever. And these also combo really well with the Smashing Grounds that I made. And one Veiler because Veiler was only an Ultra at the time and it was kind of hard to come by. So onto the spells, I played triple Burden of the Mighty. This makes your opponent lose 100 attack for every level that they have. So a Shien would be at 2,000. A Trishula, I got Trishula one time, and they didn't remove this card. They removed like a set monster, and then so Trishula is 2,700 attack, but minus 900 it was only at 1800 attack. So I special summoned Cyber Giant and attacked over it like that. But yeah, this card was did really well with this in this deck because it combos really well with the King Tiger Wangu. But I'd always side one copy each at least out for whatever like the matchup was, and then play double Smashing Ground, double MST because MST was only at 2 at the time, so I'd play. This is also the format where everyone like set by pass, so MSTs were like pretty crucial as long as you didn't just like blind MST. One Nobleman to cross out because GKs were really popular and no one expects the main deck knock. So if they set a monster pass, bam, Nobleman to cross out. Nobleman to cross out, Rykos, because I played plants a lot that day too. So it's really good. One book, because that's when it first got limited. One Trunade, because this card didn't get banned. One limiter removal, the sackiest card that I used that day. I'd top deck it like that. I'd always draw into it, and it would always go for game pushes with the Machina Fortress. It's just really good and needs to get banned. One Dark Hole and one Monster Reborn for the spells, and for the traps I played double D Prison, double Bottomless, double 7 Tools, because remember everyone said everything, and for you to counter everything, you'd use a counter trap. 7 Tools of the Bandit, really good card. One Torrential because it was only at 1. One Mirror Force, and one Solemn Judgment. As you can see, no Pod Dualities, no Solemn Warnings, and none of... the most expensive card here was the Thunder Kings, and the highest rarity of that was gold. Or the lowest rarity was gold at the time. So yeah, this and the Veiler were pretty much like $20 cards. But other than that, these are... I had common Cyber Dragon, so it doesn't really matter. For the side, I used 2 Kinetic Soldiers because heroes were... popping up, and 6 Samurais too. 2 Jiu-Jitsu Masters because I thought I was pro, and I was like, this card's really fun, really good. So yeah, I just used it because I liked it. To be honest, that's the only reason why I used it, and it's great effect. 2 DD Crow because I thought DD Crow was absolute the bananas back in the day. It is today too, but I don't even know why I use this. I guess for hmm 6 Sams when they use double-edged sword technique, or plants because plants were getting better. Oh, also Frog Monarchs. There you go. My teammate, my good friend, my cousin, James, he was a really good Frog Monarch player. He actually top 8'd that regional with frogs. But yeah, so I used those against him, but it didn't work. The second Nobleman will cross out one Tech Lightning Vortex just because I felt like monster removal would be key. I just felt like at one time I would need that card, and sure enough, it put in work. 2 Pulling the Rugs, 2 Chain Disappearance, 1 Master Restrict for the Frog Monarch matchup, 1 Chain Whirlwind, and 1 Malevolent Catastrophe for any deck that sets a lot. Pretty much every deck set a lot except for Frog Monarchs because there was no Heavy Storm to fear. This was a Heavy Storm, and this was just tech, whatever. And the extra deck, I actually don't know what I had in the extra deck because I didn't have a Trishula at the time. Actually, I didn't even have a Brionac. I didn't have most of these cards. Scrap Dragon, I didn't have that. This was all the cards that I remembered from, that day. So there's 4 other cards that are missing. But yeah, I don't know what those are. But these are the cards I knew I had for sure in my deck. So, a little bit about that day. I went 6-3, but I still got my invite because they were giving out invites to top 48. And I got 42nd, I think. I was undefeated until round 6, and then I went on a 1-3. So I was 5-0, and then I went 1-3, so I ended up 6-3. Like I said, this limiter removal would help me push for game, OTK, all that goodness. The double force really helped out too, because say you already had these 2 in hand and you had a gear frame, you could summon that, search a force, pitch these 2, special one, and then pitch the force. And yeah, it's just good Yu-Gi-Ohs. Nobleman to cross out. There was this one time where I dueled a plant guy who just set one and passed. 6 card was Nobleman to cross out. Cross out is Raikou, and it just went off from there. This Lightning Vortex, I played this fabled junk doppel, not even junk doppel, but this fabled synchro guy. Like I was like a table 5, you know, thinking I was hot shit. He was going nuts on me. Like he synchro a bunch of monsters, leaving me at like 400 life points. Came back. Game 1, came back. Game 2, did the same exact thing. This was like my 6th card. I activated this, pitched the Machina Fortress, and then I pitched a forest and just took control of the game. Like he could have OTK'd me if he wanted to, but like I guess like a few misplays every now and then, like in his combos, it just didn't work out for him in his favor. And yeah, so like the best play to do in this deck would be like summon King Tiger Wangu, activate Burden, and then set 4 or set whatever you need. Or nothing's better than, you know, opening Thunder King set 2, set 3, whatever. This deck just has really good turn 1 and turn 2 plays. Like if you know what you're playing against, like say it's like something really passive at first, you can set the Koichi. But if you know you're going against something that special summons a lot, go with Thunder King. It's just really good sackiness. And also Machina was pretty big too, so Gear Frame. I mean Cyber Dragon, what the hell? But yeah, so yeah, this is Blast from the Past, from my past, episode 1, number 1. And next time I'll talk about, like, you know, the very first deck I used when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's very embarrassing. But I hope you guys enjoy this segment. And technically it's Monday because it's 12:19 a.m. midnight, whatever. But this video is supposed to be for Sunday, so you can expect another video tomorrow in like 12 hours or something like that. But yeah, Base God and Yu-Gi, and I'm out. Bye, guys.